Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to the second week of our Spring Renewal series. This is the series where we're learning about the stories after Easter. What happens after Jesus came back from the dead on Easter? And this week's story is the Great Commission. After Easter, Jesus appeared to his disciples and he told them it's now their turn. He wanted them to go and spread his teachings around the world and to teach others about Jesus and about God and about God's love. And one of the most important things that he said to them was that he was always going to be with them. And we can take that to heart, that's not just for the disciples, but it's for all of us. Jesus is with us all, each and every day. He lives within our hearts. And the disciples were so excited about the opportunity to share the teachings of Jesus with the world, and so excited that Jesus was going to be with them always inside, that they would never be alone, that he would always be with them. So, have you ever heard the term jumping for joy? It's when you are so excited you just can't sit still. You're just so excited. And the disciples were so happy and so excited that Jesus was, first of all, was there at all, that he had rose from the dead, and that he was giving them this Great Commission, this calling. They were all being called to go teach his word. And that they were so excited that he was going to be with them. Even if he wasn't physically with them, he was going to be with them in spirit. So when I started thinking about jumping for joy and the excitement that they must have felt, I don't know, my mind went to bouncy balls. Maybe that's a stretch, but I just think of when I'm so excited, I feel like I'm a little ball just jumping up and down. And it just reminds me of joy and happiness. So today we're going to make our own bouncy balls as a symbol of the joy and happiness that we have when we accept Jesus' love into our hearts, and then in turn are able to share that with others. So what we're going to need today is, from your kits, you should have a bowl. And in the bowl, you're going to have some different stuff. And I guess I was a little lazy. I just put the words on here, or the letters, the initials. This is cornstarch, and these are measured exactly how much you need. So let's see, the cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. It has a C on it. And then this is borax. And borax, we just have half a teaspoon of borax. And then we have glue. And glue, we have 1 tablespoon of glue. So I didn't say this, but the borax has a B, the glue has a G, and then also a stick to stir. And you might be wondering, Easter's over, why do we have an Easter egg? Well, the Easter egg is actually to hold your bouncy ball at the end. Our bouncy balls might tend to flatten out, and this will at least give it a little head start to keep a little bit of roundness. But I'll get into more of that at the end. So what we're going to need to do, here I'm going to move the camera so you can see my table. Okay. We're going to take our dry ingredients. Oh, I didn't say, you're also going to need some warm water. Let's see, what does my directions say? 4 tablespoons. So get your tablespoon out too. Okay, so we're going to take our dry ingredients, which is our, move that so you can see it, our cornstarch. Dump that right into the bowl. Okay. Get as much of it out as you can. We don't need that anymore. Our borax, so the little one with the B. Let's see. Okay, dump that out. And we're going to do our 4 tablespoons of water. And I heated this up in the microwave just for a few minutes, or not a few minutes, a few seconds. A few minutes you'd have boiling water. We don't need boiling water, we just need warm water. So, but if you just run the tap for a little bit, you can get warm water that way too. Okay, so 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm going to mix this up, and it will tend to up a little bit, but mix it up pretty well. Make sure you scrape the bottom because some of it will stick to the bottom. Okay. And you have a liquid forming. Almost looks like milk. Okay, now at this point, once you're sure that it's relatively smooth, you're going to take your glue. Now, you have a choice. You can make a white bouncy ball, in which case you just dump the glue right in there. If you want some color, then from home you're going to need some food coloring. Sorry, I spaced out a moment. So if you want to have a colored ball, then just pick the food coloring that you want. Now keep in mind, we're going to roll this in our hands, so the food coloring might come off on your hands. So just beware of that. It will wash off eventually. But because of that, I'm going to be safe and I'm going to use yellow. I don't feel like having red or blue hands right now. So just, oops, not in that mixture. You're going to open up your glue and you're going to put just maybe 1 or 2 drops, or depending on how dark you want it. I'm just going to do 2 drops into my glue. And then I'm going to close that little zipper thing again, and I'm going to smush it. Kind of knead the color. And so we're going to make the glue the color that we want our ball to be. Although it'll probably be a little lighter because you're going to add it, and that might dilute it some. In all reality, this is the first time I've added the food coloring. Last time I did this, I just did a white ball, and it worked out great. The white was great. So if you don't have food coloring, just do white. Okay, then you're going to open up your glue after it's all mixed up, and then you're going to dump the glue into your bowl. As much of it out as you can. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot a paper towel. That's okay. You might want to have some paper towel around. Then you're going to stir in the glue. Until it starts clumping up. Just keep stirring. Okay, till it starts forming a little bit of a ball. Now, it's not, this whole thing isn't going to be, you're not making a dough where the whole thing turns doughy, the whole bowl. You're going to have a clump inside and then still liquid. Okay, you see how that's getting? Maybe I needed a little more food coloring. Okay. Now, once it's kind of clumpy where you think you can roll it in your palms, you can take it out, the clumpy part out of the liquid. So see, it's kind of gross right now. So that's why I said you should have some paper towels handy. But you're going to take this out and you're going to start kneading it a little bit. And you're going to start rolling it when you can. Oh, you know what? I see some paper towel. I didn't know I had it in there. Okay. Here, I'm going to put this on top of here. Your hands get slimy, so do have paper towel handy so you can wipe your hands off. And then go back to kneading it and try and roll it. It's hard to roll it when your hands are slimy. So keep wiping your hands off to get the slimy off. Okay. You just kind of keep squeezing it. Oh, and then eventually you can roll it. Okay, there we go. And just keep rolling it in your hands until it's smooth and it's not slimy anymore. Okay. And then, oh, you know what? I think it's slimy because I keep putting it back on there and I'm picking it up. Okay. Keep on rolling it, and you see I have this, well, it looks like a ball. It's best to just use the palm of your hand. You see how I'm rolling it like this around? That's going to give you the nicest ball. And I have a ball. It's still a little sticky, so you want it to not be sticky much at all. So when yours isn't sticky at all, and you have a nice round shape, you have, oops, a homemade bouncing ball. So let's give it a try. And you'll see that you still have a lot of stuff, a lot of liquid. So don't worry about that. You're just taking the gloppy stuff out. And then you're going to make it into this cool bouncy ball. You can see the cornstarch on my hand where it's dried. Okay. So, and it looks like I picked up a little dirt, but that's okay. Let's see if it bounces. Woo! Now this is not going to bounce like those mile-high balls or anything, but it does bounce. It's pretty cool. So as you're playing with your bouncy ball, just think about how excited the disciples were to learn about Jesus' resurrection, and then for Jesus to tell them that they need to go spread the word of his love and his teachings, and they were so excited to have the opportunity to do that. And they were even more excited when Jesus told that he would always be with them. So we should all jump for joy, or bounce, as in the ball, when we think about all that fabulous stuff and think about Jesus always being with us. And especially we should share that excitement when we tell others about Jesus, and just enjoy and be enthusiastic about the love of Jesus. And remember that. Here, I'll raise you up. I'll raise the camera up. Remember that every time you have, whether it's your homemade bouncy ball or another bouncy ball, maybe it's a play ball at school, just think about when you see it bouncing, how enthusiastic the disciples were, and how that can be contagious. When you're happy and you're excited, that excitement can be contagious. And so go spread the word and share God's love through your examples and through your words, by being nice and kind and loving and a good example in this world. So I hope you enjoy your bouncy ball. Now, I did tell you that we had this Easter egg so that you can store it. This is a homemade bouncy ball, and if you just let it sit, it will kind of flatten out. So the egg is just kind of to help keep it a little round. So you can use the egg if you want to help keep it its roundness. You don't have to, but when it does flatten out, when you want to play with it again, and because even in the egg, it's going to flatten out a little bit. At least one side will be flatter, and obviously the part in the curved part of the egg will be rounder. But do the same thing you just did. Roll it in your hands, and that will help turn it back into a ball. So have fun with your bouncy ball, and you can see mine is yellow. You might want to put 3 or 4 drops in of the food coloring in order to get it a little more, a brighter color if you're looking for a brighter color. Or, like I said, white is a fabulous color too. You can just leave it white and not add any food coloring. So this is still somewhat soft. It will indent, but just, it will harden up a little bit, but it is going to spread out. So don't let that upset you if that happens or when that happens. Just enjoy it while you have it, and remember God's love every time you bounce it, and have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed that activity, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Until then, have a fabulous week. Bye.